Hey, what's going down, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another episode of the TNC podcast. We're on to week 4. Chris is flying by now.
It's life.
It is. It's flying by. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and if you're watching on YouTube, then hello. If you're watching on YouTube, you've already seen our guest, who is Rob Butler.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Hello, Jack. Let's shake hands. Let's do it properly.
Let's do it. We've already said hello. We'll do it again.
Hello, Chris. Nice to see you.
So, yeah, we've got Rob down today. We thought we'd get a little guest on, of course, from Radio Norfolk. What would you say you're best known for? Canary Call?
Being an idiot. I'd say I'm best known for. Yeah. Probably Canary Call, innit? I'd rather say, you know, that's always the one that people shout at me in the street about. So, yeah.
Get the pictures with you for.
Hello, Neil. Yeah.
So lots to talk about. We've got a game to reflect on. We've got the small matter of a whole club restructure to talk about, and we've got some Twitter questions to get to as well. So let's start with the Barnsley game. It was a 2-0 win. Rob, not too shabby, was it?
That was good. You know, I was pleased. You know, we're getting a win's a win, and we haven't had too many of these this year as yet. I was pleased for Alan Irvine because we spoke to him on Friday, and I don't want to. People keep having a go at me for saying he's a nice bloke, but he genuinely is a decent bloke.
He lives here.
He lives in this building.
Yeah.
Not here. He's not in that room.
Don't tell him what room number.
No, I'm not going to go knock on his door. I don't like him that much.
He lives with the VIPs.
He lives with VIP. I think Paul Lambert used to live here as well.
Are
we allowed to say where this is?
No, we're not.
No, okay. So wherever we are now, Paul Lambert used to live here as well. I don't want to, because I know what people mean. It doesn't matter how nice he is. It's irrelevant. But it was just a different kind of press conference because there wasn't this dark cloud that was over it like there was with Alex Neil, and it was just nice to hear him talk, and he was happy to talk to us and just seems like a good guy.
I mean, Irvine got a bit unlucky in his first game in charge against Blackburn, didn't he, with Mitchell Dykes getting sent off and then the Pritchard substitution. To be fair to him, he's taken the new role quite well.
He has, and he's in a lose-lose situation as well because he's kind of said he's not applying for the job, which gives off the wrong impression, in my opinion, to both fans and players. But also, if he does well, it's like, well, he's not going to have the job anyway. But he is doing well and saying the right things, and good on him because he'll get a job off the back of this one.
I think something that you and Chris Gorham have sort of emphasised in the last couple of weeks is that Alan Irvine said that he's not going to be applying for the job, but if he's offered the job, it doesn't mean he's going to turn it down.
He will take it, yeah. I mean, I agree with what Chris is saying. It's perhaps an interesting way of doing it, but what he said in the press conference on Friday was, I've never applied for a job. It's just not what he does. Most managers who are good don't apply for jobs. They're headhunted. But I know what you're saying. I know where you're going with that. But I think the point is that he's not going to apply for it because he doesn't think he has to. And also he said out of sort of kind of respect for Alex Neil as well, he didn't want to go out and go, I want the job, I want the job. So I think the point, I mean, we're sitting here now, this is Monday night, things might have changed in the next couple of days. I would be very surprised if Alan Irvine's not here for the next few games. That's how I read it. I just think he's done an okay job. I think the players like him, and I think he's going to be the man for a few weeks maybe.
I mean, I said to you about that comment that he's never applied for a job on the game on Saturday, and you said it was almost a bit cocky of him to say that. Has your opinion changed a little bit?
No, it is. He could have said it in a bit of a better way.
Yeah,
not just off the back like that. But the absolute bottom line for me is that it highlights the fact that this can't be a short-term or long-term decision. It kind of has to be in between. We spoke about it after the game on Saturday, Jack, that if you just react now, you look at all the other clubs that have just reacted and got managers in and it's not worked out. But we've probably been guilty, hence Alex Neil, of hiring for long-term. So, I don't know. No one's going to be happy. Tough one.
I mean, when Irvine was sort of first given that caretaker role, they said it's probably going to be for a couple of games, and he said that it was going to be a couple of games. It looks like it's going to be longer than that.
4 or 5, do you reckon?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Ed Ball said that it doesn't look like they're going to be bringing in a sporting director. I suppose that is the big one, isn't it? The sporting director, because
he's going to pick the manager. Yeah. I just think, this kind of is what we're all moaning about as Norwich fans at the minute. Is do they really know? Where are we going? Do we know? I mean,
is it all a facade? Exactly. Is it all a big kind of look at us?
I mean, where are we going? Do they know what they're doing? I'm sure they do, but it just worries me with this. Alan Irvine might well have gone to that post-match interview with Chris Gorham knowing exactly what's going to happen. He's just kind of playing the game a bit, but I would like to think that they've told him how long he's going to be here, just out of respect for the bloke and also the players who need to know where they are.
Agreed.
We will see. But Ed Ball said it was going to be 2 games, and he said it might be more. As we sit here now, we don't know. We might get a text through in a minute. You never know. But as it stands, he's taking training today and tomorrow, I guess, and we'll see where we go.
I mean, the restructuring happened on Saturday. I think we were all kind of expecting it. Do you think Norwich fans have almost been quite lenient towards it because we just wanted to see something new? Are you that confident this sporting director, head coach thing will work?
Yeah, I am, because we can't just keep doing the same thing. You see, a lot of clubs have done it.
Just by changing it, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work.
Yeah, it's true, but it's quite a sceptical way of thinking, Jack. In fact, it's very. And that's
Have
what
another drink of water.
And that's what loads of Norwich fans have done. It's just been very negative. Very negative.
But rightly so.
We're changing it. It's a fact. It's going to change. We need to get behind Delia and Michael. It's their last throw of the dice, in my opinion. They need to get this right. So, come on.
What happens if they don't get it right?
Well, game over then, isn't it?
Well, the trouble is they can't.
What are they going to do?
Well, if you get it wrong and you own the club, you still own the club.
Well, very true, exactly.
So you can't.
That's why they've got to get it right.
Yeah, but I don't think it's about. I see what you're saying. I don't think it's about Delia and Michael. I think it's about the people they've employed to get things right. I'm not sure.
I would agree with that.
You know, I enjoy talking to Ed Balls, and he always gives us great interviews. I'm not really sure about his experience in football. I think the sporting director thing is just a word, a phrase, if you like, 2 words. You know, I don't really know what that means.
I mean, I suppose this is probably the opposite to what you wanted to see, because you were saying that you wanted to see a manager, a person like Paul Lambert, who'll just do everything their own. And some people were saying, I completely agree. Some people were saying, well, that's not how modern football works now. I mean, where do you stand with it now?
Well, I think Chris Gorham made a good point about the fact that business should be kept separate from football. I agree with that totally. However, you still need, and I'm just looking at it I'm not bothered about how many shirts we sell or how many, that's not what football fans are interested in.
Of course.
You don't care about the business side of things. You just want your football club to play good football and win games.
Yeah.
And obviously you need money to do that. But I think when I said what I said, it was because what I want to see is a man come in, or a woman, to come in and run that football club from top to bottom for the football side of things. And that's where the name Paul Lambert comes out. An absolute genius, a legend at our football club. Hasn't done so well since.
Agreed.
But you just need someone to run it.
Yeah, why do you think that is? We were speaking about this last week in terms of Paul Lambert. We were looking at sort of his part or club since Norwich, and he hasn't really done anything, has he? Why is that the case?
I think
We'll see
what Chris says, because I don't want to take over here, but I think Cully was a big thing. He's now at Kingston Town, done quite well there.
His team split up.
I don't think that's really worked. Not having him, Gary Carter as well. There was a bit of a falling out there, or there was allegations at Villa, and we won't go into that. But that happened. I think that's where he lost his mojo, and it's a shame because we all love Paul Lambert. We all, I certainly, not going to speak for everyone, but I certainly do.
Yeah,
great, one of the greatest managers we've ever had.
We had this discussion last week, didn't we? Would you have Paul Lambert back? We put it in the room, didn't we?
I wouldn't.
Definitely.
I mean, in our
100%.
And there you go. And this is exactly why we brought this up. And I wasn't necessarily saying I'm on one side or the other, but as a Norwich City legend, he loves the club. He only left because of David McNally. That's the reality of it. Allegedly.
I'm not on the BBC here, so I can keep quiet.
And so therefore, would you have Paul Lambert back? I don't think Paul would want to work under a sporting director. I'm just really happy because Delia, it's not Delia and Michael.
You're always happy.
But Delia and Michael aren't sitting there in their front room tonight, puffing away, mulling it over to themselves about what they're going to do with the club. They're talking to people like Roy Hodgson. Like, these are people that have been in the game for years and years, got loads of experience, and whatever happens next, I'm sure it'll be the right experience, the right decision. I have actually got a funny feeling they might be waiting for Gary Monk.
I can't see him leaving Leeds for Norwich.
No. What happens if Leeds don't go up, though? Because this is... I said to Chris the other week, this is almost the season that Ipswich had a few seasons ago, where it's kind of like, this is the season they do it. If they don't, then... I think they're apparently getting new owners in and things, but what happens if Leeds don't go up? Would Gary Monk look at us and go, actually, that's a better proposition?
I don't know, but I mean, I don't want to upset too many Norwich fans here, but what you've got to remember is Leeds are a massive football club.
No, they are. Yeah,
and it's not like, and we're on the same level as them, if not slightly below them now, because they've got a better team than us. So I don't know. I think Leeds United, if he's got kind of a board that backs him, and they've had a lot of problems there behind the scenes. If they back him and give him the money he wants and the reassurances he wants, why would you leave Leeds United for Norwich City? As much as I think Norwich City is a massive club and we're huge and we're great and I love my club, Leeds United. I know we hate them, but
we're not little Norwich, but we're not big Premier League.
We're not Leeds. We're not European Cup semi-finalists like they were.
I mean, let's sort of skirt over that because there's a lot of managers. Apparently, Giggs was at Sprowston, and we're waiting on the last Palmer.
I saw an election number plate
today
as well.
Didn't see Giggsy. You'd have probably seen his car.
Stuart Pearce was there, but that's another story.
Was he playing golf?
I think he was. Yeah,
probably hacking it about.
Yeah.
I mean, another argument I want to quickly talk about this whole restructuring thing. I heard Darren Eadie speaking about it, where he said that when Southampton kind of adopted this structure, it took them 5-10 years for it to really start paying off, and it is obviously paying off now.
Look at it now.
But are fans willing to wait that amount of time for it to come off? Would fans willing to be...
Look at how consistent Southampton have actually been. And the magical thing about Southampton is no matter who they've had in charge, they've delivered, and they've brought in top players, and they've taken gambles on kind of big names in a way, or bigger names. And I think that's one of the things that Norwich is guilty of, is we are far too safe in terms of where we're putting our money in positions that we need to fill. It's just kind of like, we'll just fill that. Hence Seb Bassong, hence Carl Lafferty. Kind of last minute kind of, they'll do kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose this summer's the big one, isn't it? Because players like that, their contracts are running out.
Well, the only thing with Southampton as well is they've got a mega rich owner, and we haven't got that. And whether you respect and like Delia as most of us do, and what she did for the club, she hasn't got that sort of money. So the day will come when she has to move
fair
it on.
to Southampton, though, a lot of their players have come through the ranks through there, and they're
Southampton have, and what we have got in common with Southampton, I believe, is, we spoke about this again last week, Jack, is they've got good values in terms of their whole club, the way it should be run, family orientated, giving back to the fans. Well, we should be giving back to the fans. Hopefully, we give back more to the fans next season, rather than half price Villa tickets. But do you know what I mean? I think Delia and Michael are going to change a lot of that, and you can already see it. I see a bit of that seeping through Steve Stones already. Like he wants to give back to the fans. He seems quite trustworthy and honest and transparent. And I think, and I hope, we get more of that next season.
What they need to give to fans those wins. That's
all people don't care, do they?
You know, we sit here moaning, and we do, and I agree with Chris. You've got to be a community club. You've got to do the things, and we saw the great things that the club did on Saturday at half time and the collection. It's just fantastic. We need to do that. But the most important thing aside from that is getting wins. And once you get wins, people stop moaning.
I mean, something we've talked about in depth before is sort of Colney and how that's. I mean, you're all there every week, and you'll probably admit that it's not the best.
No, it's
not the worst.
No, it's not. I think
it's
Charlie,
not the worst.
His face. I think Charlie White called it Portakabin City, which was. I love Charlie; he's a top man, but it's a bit harsh. It's not. I mean, I don't think footballers come to there, and go, I'm not going to sign for them because they've got a few Portakabins.
Do you not think?
No, I don't think so.
I
disagree. I disagree with Charlie on that one. As much as I respect him and he's a great bloke, I disagree. He might have a point because he's a national journalist. What it comes down to is the amount of zeros in their wage packet.
Correct.
I mean, people go.
Honestly, Jack. Honestly, look at other clubs' training grounds and bring this up again.
If I was a professional football player and went to Colney, I see a gym with a few treadmills in
the countryside,
4 cabins,
sheep's bowing in the background.
It's nice.
I mean, I think that is all sort of jokes aside, our recruitment over the past few years have been poor.
Yes.
Our injection of youth players has been poor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I suppose, except for them.
But even that should have been trusted a lot earlier.
Well, they should have been played a lot earlier.
For an FA Youth Cup winning side, for 1-2 of them players to come through, you've got McGeehan at Luton and Toffolo doing.
Are we allowed to talk about Jacob Murphy yet?
Yeah, go on then. He scored.
Right.
Of course, an England under-21 call-up
today. Yeah, good news.
Michael Bailey, great article today. Did you read it?
I did.
Good. Did you?
No, I did.
Good.
Having a go at fans jeering him.
Yeah, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And I said it last week, and I'm
Michael
going to blow my own trumpet. No, it's just like fans are getting on Jacob Murphy and Josh Murphy's back. Why? They're youth players.
I didn't really hear it, but I'm up in the gantry. I mean, what did you hear?
They all moan. They go, "Oh, he's bloody not dragging back, boy."
Yeah, but
why?
I'm not going to have a go at the Norwich fans because I don't do that. Yeah. But what I will say is I didn't really. I mean, I'm in the gantry. I took my headphones off sometimes. I didn't hear anything. I had a mate who's there in the snake pit who told me that he didn't hear too much. So I'm not trying to say Bailey's making a thing out of it because
he's not. Do that. No, he's highlighting a very important point, Rob.
But do you draw attention to it? That's what
I think. I think the thing is,
if it's 10 people.
It's more than 10.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, far be it from me to tell people what to put in their articles in the paper. It's just like, if you get one nasty tweet and you tell everyone about it, that's drawing attention to it, which we'll do later on in the show, I think.
We will.
That idea. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, I just don't want Jacob to see it because I just want to sort of put my hand over his little ears and cuddle him and say, don't worry, Jacob.
Exactly right. But all Norwich fans have to have that mentality. We can't be beating up Jacob Murphy because he had one wayward shot. I mean, for God's sake.
They do it to Jerome as well, though.
Well, okay, Jerome should know better. But Jacob Murphy is one of our own. It's so important.
I disagree with that. I think any footballer, it doesn't matter if he's 30 or
true. If
19.
they're in yellow, then you should support them more.
Correct. Don't boo your own players.
No, I'm not saying I do, and I'm probably
not
one
you,
of those
you never do that.
The defenders should be doing Jacob Murphy's job with regards to tracking back anyway.
I think he does track back. I think that's
he's got a lot better.
I think that's what's held Josh back a little bit, and the manager, Alex Neil, ex-manager, said that. He said, Jacob just does that job better, and it's something that Josh is working on because Josh, what he's got that perhaps Jacob hasn't is that way of getting the ball and making something happen just off the wall. Whereas Jacob's a little bit more straightforward in that he's a brilliant finisher, but he will work as well. So they've both got attributes.
And
massively.
we brought this up as well, and you brought up while we were watching the game. Jacob and Josh, their goals this season.
I can't tell the difference. They all
First of all, fantastic goals.
Yeah.
Second of all, they just blend together.
Yeah.
So going forwards, they're both probably on par with each other.
Brilliant.
It's really exciting. I just wish the
I think the interesting.
more.
I think the majority do. The vast majority.
Yeah, of course.
But you're always going to get idiots.
I think the interesting debate about this is it's a very fine balance between getting them youth players in but still winning football matches, because a lot of people have been calling for James Maddison, Ben Godfrey, and I really want to see that Louis Thompson when he's back from injury. But you still need to win football matches, and when is the right time? Milker as well, lovely. Yeah. When is the right time to inject these youth players?
He's asking a serious question. You're doing an advert for Milker. When is it right, Jack? I'm listening. I think it's James Maddison should be involved. I saw him for the under-23s. I know it's only the under-23s. It was against a very poor Dinamo Zagreb. He was brilliant.
Well, they made
and what are they saying about him up north?
Yeah, they love him.
A lot.
Yeah, Aberdeen. I mean,
I've
Chris
got family up
me
north,
they love
and
him.
he was all over the papers up north, and that's no mean feat. He's done that off the office.
That's that. Pritchard's getting a chance now. I think Alan Irvine's a big fan, so he's going to get him in. And I just think, when is the right time? Is there a right time? Carl Morris, he's back. He's worried about his choice.
Because the thing is, when you get into the Premier League, it makes it even tougher to get them youth players in because there is no room for error. And that is the thing. Even if Jacob Murphy is to make a mistake,
no, I'm all right. I don't eat chocolate.
Don't eat chocolate.
No. If Chris Gorham's watching this, he'll be laughing now.
Oh yeah, because you always eat all the sweets in the car.
Yeah, well, not chocolate. Anyway, I'll stick to my juice.
So yeah, let's move on. Another talking point I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure if any of you saw the video of Sergi Canos at the weekend at the train station.
I saw a picture.
I saw a picture too.
Selfie.
So I suppose the interesting thing here is Brentford's been scoring goals there for fun. A player brought in under the same role model of James Maddison, a player for the future. Neither of them players getting in the squad. What's going wrong there?
Well, I think Canos weren't good enough. That's the bottom line.
But he's doing it at Brentford.
Yeah, but that's Brentford. That's a level below us.
He's still in the Championship.
Agreed, and I'm not disrespecting Brentford because that's a great club and I've enjoyed going there when I go. It's a great place to watch football. However,
was he bad though, Rob?
Well, I saw him at Birmingham.
Do you not even get a substitute?
All right, but I just think when you got Jacob and Josh Murphy coming through, you've got midfielders like. I mean, all right, I don't think he can really play centrally, but you've got people like Matt Jarvis, I know he's been in and out in terms of injury and seen him for ages.
He's still a thing.
He's still a thing. He's going to come back. He's going to be better. I just don't know. I think I wouldn't. This isn't anything towards Sergi Canos because I really hope the lad has a great career. But it's a bad signing. That's where it's another one of the bad signings.
It comes back to recruitment.
It's just disappointing.
They're not playing him in the right
position.
They're not playing him in the right position. They've signed him and just gone, let's just get him. It's a bit like Maddison. I remember when he signed him, McNally sort of said, little bonus for you, we've got James Maddison. That's like, that's a nice little present.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing him next season. Have we seen him? Have we balls? We haven't. So I just think that Sergi Canos sums up the pathetic recruitment that this club has done in the last few years. Tim Close is another one. Was he the right person? Everyone loves him because he's good on Snapchat, but I still
He
think
was
Ryan Bennett's a
reporting.
better centre half.
Really?
Do you?
See, Tim.
Everyone will hate me for that. Go on, I can see the comments on YouTube now. But
Well, I feel a bit of a connection with Ryan Bennett because he went to the same high school as me, so I feel like
he's a good bloke.
and he was actually dropped from our high school team.
And he plays guitar.
He was dropped from Norwich and then he went to, around some various clubs and ended up at Peterborough, and I won't mention one of the ones he went to because that would be
I
bad,
think
but
Ryan Bennett was majorly kind of held up in the Chris Hughton. Was he Chris Hughton? He was, wasn't he?
Lambert signed him.
Yeah, and I think Chris Hughton didn't. I think he kind of, as soon as he kind of didn't play, he just derailed him.
I'm not saying, Ryan himself would know that it's been a tough time here, but what I'm saying is we're in the Championship. In the Championship, Ryan Bennett, for me, is better than Tim Closer.
What do you think on
in
that?
the Championship?
I think that Ryan Bennett has got the better attributes in terms of he can head the ball and he wins everything in the air and he is brave. The one thing I'd criticise with
Good
Ryan
passer.
Bennett, I tell you what,
Crossfield, mate, like Glenn Hoddle.
the annoying
Decent
thing, when Ryan Bennett gets the ball, you know where the ball's
a long
going.
diagonal pass.
Yeah,
into
that's
the
what he
season.
loves, his diags.
He never makes them.
Rob,
Yeah, he did
come
against
on.
Dinamo Zagreb for the under-23s, but that's another story. I was probably the only one at that game. But no, I think Tim Close is an excellent defender and he's a Swiss international. But half of the hype around Tim Close is because he does that on all Snapchats. Pinto, who you love,
And I love.
Pinto,
Be careful.
hang on,
Be careful.
let me say, Pinto, when we first got him,
Don't you dare slag him.
I'm not going to slag. I'm not going to slag him. When we first got him, I didn't think he could defend. Right?
They couldn't.
He was good
Disagree.
on Snapchat, but I didn't. No, listen, he couldn't defend. I thought, what have we got here? I thought he's all right going forward. He's a winger. That man has worked hard. He's stuck to his guns. All right, we've gone down a division, so that helps him. But he is a very, very good fullback, and I've been proved wrong. I'll eat my words. I did the same with Nelson Oliveira, who I didn't rate when I first got him.
I didn't.
I'll eat my words.
Isn't it?
Trouble with a lot of people is, and this isn't just Norwich fans, it's all football fans, is if you change your mind about someone and you come on whatever podcast, Twitter, whatever, and go put your hands up, oh, I got that one wrong, people will still remind you. They'll go, "Oh, he's you can do that. It's a tip. You can change your mind about someone and you put your hands up, I got that wrong. Because I got it wrong about Nelson Oliveira. He is a very, very good striker, and I love seeing him in that shirt.
Some people are saying that we should shape our whole team around him next season.
If
with
we
him
win
in
the
mind.
Championship.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Close, it's a strange one because he came out in Swiss press the other week and basically done a fairly open interview and said that he is looking for a move pretty much.
Well,
He wants...
off you can see it then.
Yeah.
That's not
Do you
helpful, is it? Well, it's
No.
not helpful.
But do you
think
think
that
that was when Alex Neil was still here? Do you maybe think it was a mismanagement
Well,
of
what was
Tim
the one
Close?
that came out this week? Was that an old one that's just come out? Because I saw was that a new one?
I think the interview was done while it was while
Okay.
Alex Neil
Yeah.
dropped him, didn't he?
Fair enough.
And he's been brought back into
Fair
the squad
enough.
and he was talking about that.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt there. But Alan Irvine was asked about it on Friday, and he said, "Well, it's not very helpful."
No.
And it isn't, because if you don't want to be here, mate, just keep that to yourself. Work hard, do your Snapchats, shake hands with the fans, which he's brilliant at, and I love him for that. But you don't come out there and go, "Oh, I'm going to go." And I don't know what it is with footballers who are based in Europe or from Europe, where they think we're not going to see these interviews, and they're going to come back and then fans are going to go, "Well, what are you doing, mate? Well,
That's been a problem.
then."
But that wasn't just a problem with Tim Close. That was a problem with Martin Olsen.
Yeah,
And
he
Robbie
didn't
Brady
agree.
gave off those vibes as well.
Agreed,
and
totally.
those players, I'm sick of Norwich players disrespecting the football club like
Yeah,
that. I'm
totally
sick to
agree.
the bone of it.
Yeah.
They need to fight for the shirt. Ivo Pinto
Just keep quiet.
has done everything right this season. He's been amazing on the pitch. He's been consistent, to be fair, considering our shoddy defence, apart from Russ Martin, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Good old Russ.
look, I just think...
But there's a good sorry to butt in, but there's a good example there with Ryan Bennett. You know, he gets a stick from the fans. He's been dropped however many times. He's in and out of the team. Has he ever complained about it? No.
No.
In
Not
fairness,
publicly.
No.
And I'm not
true.
saying it doesn't matter if he complains about it privately to his missus, because that's up to him.
Yeah, of course.
But he has not come out privately. I've interviewed him loads of times, and he's never used it as an opportunity to go, "Oh, I'm always in and out
And
of
you'd
the team."
expect he would.
Well,
If
you-
I was
you
Ryan
can give him
Bennett,
the
I'd be
opportunity.
saying, I can't believe I'm
Yeah.
not on this team.
You can give him the opportunity when you're interviewing. So, well, it's a bit disappointed being in and out of the team. And you're like, "No, I'm happy to fight for my place." That's what
Says
good
all.
football does. I'm not just using Ryan Bennett's example, because there's lots of players like it. Wes never does, and he's in and out of the team. You know, Cameron Jerome, another brilliant person to interview. Who
How
just
good
won't,
has he been this
just
season, by
won't
the way?
know. That's what you need. Never mind about Tim Closer. You can't do that. we've still got a season here, and he's in Switzerland going, oh, I don't really want to be there.
I mean, this once again for me comes back to recruitment though, because you've got two possible players you can recruit. You've got the Sergi Canos type player, something to prove, young, hungry, done it in the Championship, or you go for Tim Close, European player, Swiss international at the time. So who do you bring in? A Tim Close, who evidently has talent but maybe isn't working as hard as a Sergi Canos, or a Sergi Canos type player who you bring in, has done it before, and then you don't play him?
Well, I would say it's an interesting point. The club tried something different, and they really pushed the boat out to stay up when McNally was still here with Alex Neil in January. They got Tim Closer, they got Stephen Naismith, they got whoever else they got in that window, and it backfired spectacularly.
If he didn't get injured at Palace,
yeah,
I
still think we'd have gone down.
Really think that, but even still, that was a key moment.
We weren't good enough.
He wasn't
ultimately
that crap then.
So the point is do you look now to come back to this thing about what Paul Lambert did, which is bringing hungry players like Simeon Jackson and Holty, which Gunny brought in, and people like that.
Thanks for mentioning that, by the way.
Gunny, I know he's a good friend of yours, a good friend of all of ours, and we love Gunny for bringing us Holty. Bottom line is, that's what I want to see at our football club. I don't want to see, and it's nothing to do with foreign. It's not foreign players. It's not. I wouldn't say that, because I think Vildskut's a good signing. I think he's assimilated to this country now. He's played here a while.
Let me come in, and this is exactly why I will take all of the abuse from my love for Russ Martin.
Yeah, well, I like Russ Martin.
Because he might not be a 10 out of 10 footballer, but my God, he works hard.
He's a 10 out of 10 human being.
Yeah, but I love Russ Martin. I think he's a brilliant person.
But
you're not
Paul
going to
Lambert,
get promoted because we've got a nice centre back, aren't we?
Wrong. Under Paul Lambert, players like Russ Martin, they weren't 10 out of 10 players. I say it again. Mark Tierney, for example, they worked together, and we got promoted. We need more Russell Martins. We need more of them.
You just need 11 Russell Martins.
Yeah. No, I know. I agree with what he's saying. I know what he's saying. Yeah. We need a team, and you need a manager.
I suppose this current team is a lot of mismatches. You've got
agreed.
You've got your
There's
Murphys.
no real chemistry.
But how many? All the players he's using, and Gorham's got the stats. I think like 9 of them were here before Alex Neil got here, or some 8 of them.
A lot of them were here under Houghton.
So
don't start me.
Some of them were under Lambert, and you've got to move it on. And as much as Wes is a hero, and Johnny Howson's been a hero, and I definitely wouldn't sell either of those players. You've got to have something around them.
Yeah, agreed.
Bradley Johnson, 2 words. That's all I'm going to say.
Moving on then.
Yeah,
Bradley Johnson alert. I wonder where that's going to come.
I
actually wanted like a Bradley Johnson button to kind of slam it.
I know when we get onto Bradley Johnson.
I'll just go misty-eyed and stuff.
Right, quickly, next question.
Hype of the week. The thing we're very excited about that's come out. Anything with to do with Norwich City Football Club. Doesn't have to be with the football. Could be the half-time pie. Anything happening in the media box, the gantry.
Let me go first. I ain't got one. So
okay, I'll go first. And I actually think I might have said this last week, but I'm going to say it again. Jacob Murphy, and I literally do not care what anyone thinks about that, because he is so bright and he's got such a big future at our football club. He signed a new contract. Has he signed a new contract? He signed a new contract.
Yeah, both of them did, yeah.
He's Norwich through and through. He's saying and doing all the right things, even the little things like he's favouriting people's tweets.
Yeah,
it's those small little things that make a big difference to fans. And I'm really pleased that he scored, because it shut up all of the negative people, and that felt good.
Rob, you must have something you're excited about. Something.
It's getting warmer, so the gantry is a bit kind of...
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Have they got heating up there or not?
No, just our coats.
Heating?
I didn't know like some of them like little boxes with like kind of red radiation coming down.
No, you did get them at some posh grounds now. I mean... It's a tough one, because I don't think there is a lot to be hyped about.
You go, Jack. Hype of the week while Rob's thinking.
The new forks in the Barclay stand don't snap anymore.
Yeah,
do not snap, and they're sporks, so you can get your steak out of the...
Have you noticed the Norwich City crested coffee cups as well?
Yeah.
Love that.
The catering team are doing well. No, it's the sporks.
The kiosks have been faster as well.
Yeah.
God, this is getting dry.
My hype of the week is the Scrimmage YouTube channel, which I happen to know is fantastic. And after you've watched this video, make sure if you haven't subscribed to these two, subscribe, and then subscribe to this. Look at these two; they've switched off now because they're now unplugging it. Scrimmage YouTube channel. It'll probably come up on the side there. Jack, Chris, what do you think? It's brilliant.
No, I like it because it's behind the scenes that you wouldn't see.
And,
do you know
this
what I mean?
week,
it's really exclusive.
This week, I can tell you, on probably Friday or Saturday, we're going to have a really special video.
Ooh.
You've already had him on your
Any
channel.
teasers?
Well,
Already
I don't
on
know.
the
Just in
channel.
case he doesn't. Just in case he doesn't turn up.
I've got a funny
Just
feeling
in
I
case
know
he
who it
doesn't
is.
turn up.
We won't say anything.
No, don't say anything. But he's a friend of yours, Jack, and we don't always see eye to eye, me and him. So that'd be quite interesting. So we'll see. But it might not happen because he might.
Right, moan of the week. Sure, we've got lots of things to moan about. We're Norwich fans. We're from Norfolk.
Come on, you moan first. Rob.
I just think my moan of the week is, I would say this restructuring, which it sounds good, and it all kind of.
You can't moan about the restructure. It's not even happened yet.
Whoa! Let me finish.
Good, okay.
I haven't got there yet.
Good.
So I just think it's all David Brent, and it's kind of all like sporting directors and structures and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't do anything for me. I just want to see my team get a good football manager, get a good sporting director or director of football, if you even need one, and that's all I'm worried about. I'm not bothered about structuring and telling us how we're going to get to this decision. I just want that man to come in, or woman, and sort my team out, get this sorted, forget about what Delia and Michael and all them are saying in newspapers and what have you. I just want someone to come in to take control of this football club, put them in the right direction. Less talk, more action. I'm happy for them to take a few weeks. I'm happy for them to get it right. I'm happy for them to take till the summer. But we need to get it sorted because we have lurched from problem to problem at this club. And unfortunately for Delia and Michael and the regime we've got in the minute, they have been there that whole time. You know, we haven't had many good managers under that time. We've had yo-yo up and down in the old leagues, and I just don't want Delia's legacy to be one of a disaster when, at the minute...
Because she has been amazing for the club,
She
really.
has. She saved us, and her husband, who are decent people. They're decent people who care about this football club. But people are quite right, and, there was a time when you couldn't criticise them because people would jump on you. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying I'm sitting there criticising them, but you should be allowed to criticise your owners if you're not happy. And I'm fed up with people saying, be careful what you wish for. I'm fed up with people saying to me, I know Leyton Orient fans, they'd have had a tough day today. They're nearly going to go out of business. I feel for them.
Yeah.
And I hate people saying, well, careful what you wish for. We could end up like Leyton Orient. Obviously, we don't wish that on any team. It's not going to happen. But Norwich City should be able to hold their heads a bit higher than they have at the minute because this season's been a disaster.
At least you can't beat that. I think it's beautifully put.
You started me ranting there, you see.
That was good. That's moan of the week.
My moan of the week on a slightly lighter note. Did you see the Barnsley fans who stole the boat and then had to be rescued by the police?
What are you moaning about? That was brilliant. Did they get arrested as well?
Wasting police resources.
No, they didn't. Hang on, we can give you the official line of this. Let me just find it.
Was there an official line?
There is an official line from Norfolk Police.
No. Really?
Yes, there is, I can tell you.
Superb.
Hang on, we've got you.
Hang on, one moment.
So basically, if you don't know, while Rob's finding the story...
And if you're listening...
Barnsley fans, probably slightly intoxicated, but I'm not going to take that assumption.
They might just
They
be general
stole a
nutters.
very small boat.
Yeah.
I say stole, they did steal it.
Did you see them get in it, by the way? They kind of wobbled in it. It was very entertaining.
They jumped in the river with the boat and basically got stuck, and the police had to come.
Amazing.
And,
right, here we go.
And rescue them.
Right. So this is from Norfolk Police. Approximately 1 p.m. Broad's Beat Patrol boat was near to Bishopgate when they found two males drifting in a small boat with no means of reaching the bank. They had sat in the boat on the slipway to take a photo, and it slipped down into the river. Boat owner did not wish to make any complaint. Words of advice was given, it says here. Words of advice was given is what...
I love it how they had to save them. They were literally like 6 feet away from
But they didn't steal it. It was a boat they'd hired. So
they'd hired it?
Yeah, they'd hired it. So let's not upset the Barnsley fans. Credit to them.
Yeah, we like Barnsley.
They hadn't stolen it. It was hired out, but they just they had a little bit of trouble.
Incredible that they hired a boat on a match day. Maybe that's the future.
That's just stars.
When you're in Norfolk,
why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I appreciate the Norfolk Broads.
What could we hire if we went to Barnsley?
Well, Barnsley famous for chops.
Chops.
Yeah, you never had a Barnsley chop?
What is a Barnsley chop?
People will know. People of over 25 will know what a Barnsley chop
apologies.
is. No, it's just a bit cut of meat. Go to the butcher tomorrow. Ask your mums and say, "Mum, can we have Barnsley chops for tea?"
Right,
For
cool.
the youngsters listening.
Right, let's move on to the Twitter questions. You guys have come in force this week. Obviously, you can ask us about anything.
Love
really.
these. Love these.
Yeah, we love the Twitter questions. So the first one is from James Mackay, and he says, if you were on the board at this current point in time, what would be the first thing you would do? Chris, we'll start with you.
I would do a bit of talking. I'd go against Rob. I'd do a bit of talking. I'd bring out bulls.
You don't want to
not
upset
my
Rob.
balls, Ed balls. And I'd say, and I'd get Ed to kind of spiel out some stuff about how everything's going to be okay, and then I'd be working my arse off behind the scenes to try and get someone in very, very quickly.
Do you think that's what you're doing now?
No.
Of course, yeah, I think they are. But
Yeah, but not. I think they're being too. I think
we do seem a bit
possibly being
rudderless.
too patient. Yeah.
Okay. What would you do, Rob?
I probably would do. I said no talking. What I would do is just improve relationships with the fans and talk a lot more. Come on, BBC Radio Norfolk. Come on, Talk Norwich City. Come on, whoever else there is, all the other media outlets, and say we want to talk to the fans. Don't keep rolling out Ed Balls because he's a non-executive chairman. We want to hear from the owners of the football club.
He's taken a lot of flack as well.
He has, but he's there to do it. We want to hear from Tom Smith. We're told he's a nice guy and all that. I've met him once, perfectly pleasant. Want to hear from him. He's reportedly or arguably or whatever the word is, rumoured to be perhaps the person who's going to own this football club. Do we want to hear from him? Why can't we hear from him? So I'd push him out onto the scrimmage or talk Norwich City and say, come on, have a chat with us.
I think that's a long-term thing. Not long-term, I think it's medium-term, isn't it?
I think that will improve.
Next season, 100%, yeah.
Cool. Moving on to Canary Scott. By the way, James, thanks for that question. Canary Scott says, thoughts on Stuart Webber from Huddersfield coming in, and do you think he'll want a Wagner-type manager? So this is basically their sporting director, who's been linked today with the Norwich job.
He's been linked. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, there's
Done good work at Huddersfield,
there's something in that, and I'm not giving you any exclusives here, but there is something in that one, and I think he's brilliant. I slightly worry about the fact that Huddersfield have had a good couple of seasons. Credit to them, but let's hope he's not a flash in the pan. Let's hope he's got it. But he's very young. I think he's 33, which is younger than me, older than you two boys, but younger than me. That's another kind of Alex Neil thing. And with the question with Wagner, well, Wagner is it or Wagner?
I think that was the guy at X Factor, Wagner. Bring him in if you want. It could be Wagner. It could be
Wagner. Wagner. If Wagner. This guy will want Wagner. I think he will. I think this guy will want Wagner.
We discussed this last week. What are the chances of Wagner rejecting Wolfsburg, and coming to Norwich?
I don't know about that. I don't know what.
Do we as well? I'd be interested to get your opinion on this as well, Rob. Do we want to get an experienced sporting director or an experienced head coach? And there's only two options there, by the way. There's not an option to not have
both.
Okay, fair enough.
Get both.
Do you think that? Do you think that's a good thing? A lot of fans seem to be all right with Ryan Giggs and experience.
The thing with sporting directors is we won't have heard of them. We've not heard of the Stuart Webber bloke.
So in which case we need an experienced head coach? Are we settled on that?
Well, yeah. I think you need. I've said.
So
I'm not going to go back on what I've
in,
said.
would you be happy with that? Okay,
I'd like to interview him
because
I like Ryan Giggs as a player. I thought he was amazing, but I don't. He's got no experience as a manager apart from a caretaker when he beat us. Yeah. But
Kagawa hat trick.
But the bottom line is you need experience. But if it's David Wagner, that would be good because I think he's done a hell of a job at Huddersfield. He's obviously got something about him and bring some of those good players with you.
And again, he inspires players, and I've said it 1,000,001 times.
Right, let's move on. Paul Leach says, do you think we still have a chance of reaching the playoffs? If so, would promotion be the best thing for a club during a transitional period? Now, this is something I've brought up before on the podcast. Yeah. Now, this is when we were still in with a shout of the playoffs. I don't think the playoffs are on anymore. I don't know. You might think differently.
You said they might be on Saturday, Jack.
Yeah, possibly. That was more clickbait than anything.
Oh, okay, right.
No, the thing is, even if when we were in with a chance of promotion, we bounced straight back last time, it didn't work out. Do you almost think that another season in the Championship, just to take a breath, just to calm down a little bit, in the long term, will help us out?
No, because you've got to go up. You've got to go up. If you go up, and then you worry about going up when you go up. Bottom line is, Norwich still could make the playoffs. I don't think they will, because I think away from home we're a shambles. That might change under Alan Irvine or the new manager, if we get one. Head coach. But I just think, we've got Huddersfield and Villa coming up, not in that order. Villa and Huddersfield coming up, and that are tough games away from home. And if we get 4 points out of that, I'll be happy. So I think we could make the playoffs. I don't think we will. And if we do and go up, then it'd be amazing and it'd be the best news ever because then you get in the Premier League, then you worry about it. And all right, you're going to have to have a clear out, but you've got that chance then.
Say if we do go up, now this is very hypothetical because I don't think it will happen. Do you then scrap the restructuring and say, well, no, it's worked?
No, that's absolutely ridiculous. Why would you scrap the restructure?
Well, because it's worked on the current setup.
No.
But there's every chance.
Because we've gone up on the last one. We haven't conquered the Premier League with the current structure.
Yeah.
So we have to restructure in an attempt to conquer the Premier League. Definitely. I've actually got a strange kind of thought process at the moment, which I might get some abuse for. I always want to get promoted, but I actually would love it this season. I'd rather we stayed in this league and Ipswich went down to League One.
No.
The Championship's a lot more fun.
Don't worry. Who cares about
I would
Ipswich?
just love it.
Who cares? We've got a rule on the scrimmage, you don't mention them unless we're playing them.
Okay, fair
An
enough.
unwritten rule. I've just let you into a secret.
Okay, fair enough. That's our new rule then as well.
That isn't
Just don't
exclusive.
mention.
Unwritten rules.
Don't mention
We'll
them.
take that rule.
Because don't give them the credit. They're obsessed with us.
Yeah, we
we
shouldn't
aren't
be
obsessed with them.
Okay.
We aren't obsessed with them.
Luke Speck with a very to-the-point question.
Oh, he's the one that
Karanka.
abuses me. Yes.
Question mark.
Yes.
Karanka, yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah.
Have you heard about apparently he's a control freak? Apparently.
All managers are.
Just putting it in the room.
All I'm saying, defensively minded, no plan B.
But then, what's the one problem we've got this season?
Well, we haven't
Come
defended.
on.
But then under Houghton, he was too heavily defensive.
Yeah, but
I go back to the point of Wembley. Alex Neil completely outthought him, outdone him.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Karanka had
He
no
did.
plan B.
He did.
Patrick Bamford.
So very true.
Yeah, but
Was it a
then-
freak? Was it a freak occasion?
I don't. Look, I don't.
I'd
think,
have
I think
Karanka, I
Karanka
would.
won't. I don't think it will come. But I just don't get this kind of we don't want defensive football. It's like we just want to win. It's not
Yeah,
a
the
choice.
defence
You
has
can
been a
have
shambles
no,
this
but
season.
I can't say because I've always banged the drum of wins over entertainment. So
Right,
and
okay.
even though I absolutely agree that Chris Hughton should have gone when he did, you've still got to win over entertainment.
Fair enough. Jasper Harmer says best youth talents coming through the youth teams at the moment.
Glenn Middleton,
Yeah.
absolutely
He
brilliant.
scored again,
Absolutely brilliant.
Scored
And I'm not
countless
just
doubles,
I'm
yeah.
not jumping on the band. I'm like you two boys. You go and watch the under 23s and the 18s and that. He is the real deal. He doesn't look quick when you sort of see him, but when he goes, he goes. I don't know who he reminds me of because he's just like
Sort of small, bulky. isn't
older
he?
listeners will know John Robertson used to play for
Compare him to
Nottingham
Drury
Forest.
for the younger viewers.
Yeah,
Don't say yeah. What is he like compared to Drury?
compared to Drury.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Not like.
Well, he's not a left back. He's a
Well,
winger.
he doesn't
No, I'd say all right. Younger listeners and viewers, I would say I can't. It's just not. I mean,
He's good.
got
He's
the
really
tricks.
good.
He's got the tricks of Harks now because Edie was.
The tricks of Hearts.
I think Edie was
That's
quicker.
a big shout.
The thing that Middleton's got is he cuts in and he does what Harks used to, which he cuts in and scores. He's strong. He's got a great cross. He gets his head down. He runs. He's got a trick. He's got everything.
Snodgrass?
Yeah, Snodgrass,
Yeah.
but with more pace.
Yeah.
Scottish
But,
as well.
and all due respect to Snoddy, Middleton at the minute looks like he will surpass, and that's a big talk, so don't, but
Yeah, but that's great to have those players. And to be fair, he's only really started to come into the limelight, isn't he?
Well, he's like 17.
For me, it's 100% Madison. It's 100% Madison.
Well, let's say sort of
he
more
looks
homegrown
incredible.
players.
Looks brilliant.
Madison.
Why not? Come on, I'm going to
Who
give
else?
Madison some praise.
Anyone else?
Jacob Murphy,
That's John
I'll
Robertson.
mention him
He
again.
looks a bit like Glenn Middleton.
Dodgy haircut.
Yeah, well, Glenn Middleton. John Robertson used to play for Forest.
Should we shout to the camera
He
with
won the
focus?
European Cup. He used to smoke about 20 a day. Not that Glenn Middleton, of course, does that, but he was the best player that Nottingham Forest had, and he won in European football of the year, I think. So John Robertson, and he was Scottish.
Two players I'm going to go with.
Chocolate?
No, I'm good. Good friend of mine, Aston Oxborough, coming through the ranks.
Your mate.
Just signed with Brian Gunn's agency, which
Did I
is good
say
for him.
that? Oh well, you said it now.
Yeah, they made it public.
Good.
And is it
Gunny, he'll be at Man City soon then.
Yeah, probably with Angus. And is it Crow, the centre back?
Joe Crow,
Joe
yeah.
Crow. He's a top player as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Glenn Middleton, Joe Crow, Aston
Oxborough.
Todd
Madison,
Cantwell.
Murphy.
Cants, yeah.
Todd Cantwell as
I
well.
like him, Todd. Good dealing boy. And
Capital
hang on,
Canal.
we'll do one. Let's
Go
do
on.
one more youth team player because everyone's
All
talking
right,
about Glenn. While you're just going through that, who have I seen recently for the 23s? I really like Ray Grant as well, and I think he's really found it difficult to get a chance. But I think he's a real class player. And
He did he play in the League Cup?
he went
didn't
out on loan, but it didn't really work out for him. I think it was Dagenham he went to. But he's a great player, and he needs to be given more opportunities because he's really classy.
When you look at it, we've got a lot of players who could possibly break through next season.
And I think we
Ben
need
Godfrey.
to. I have a funny feeling they were bringing in the likes of Madison for 2 seasons' time.
Yeah.
And I think what they're going to have to do is fast forward that process because we're probably going to, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think we're probably going to sell more than we buy this summer, and therefore we're going to have to basically promote. We're going to have to promote these youth players, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
indeed. Alex Butcher saying we need to sort out the defence. Which members of the youth set? Oh, we've already sort of done that. I suppose I'm going to change that question a little bit. Which defenders would you like to keep going into next season? Sorry, Alex, for changing your question.
Defenders, I'd keep
Pinto,
Russ.
Go on, disagree with that, Jack.
No,
I think he brings value to the dressing room.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can see why there's an argument to sort of just start again, but no, Russ is a good club.
I would keep Russ.
I'd keep Bennett. And
would you?
That's probably it. And then I'd get obviously Whittaker's going to go.
I can't believe the amount of fans that wanted Whittaker to literally 2-foot that guy so he can get red carded.
Yeah, no, I like.
The problem, I when you say that,
Whittaker's on.
I do agree with you there, but you then look at that. You've still got 3 of the same players who have shipped goals all season.
That doesn't mean
Turner,
he can go. Choice.
Okay,
so I'd keep those 3: Pinto, Martin, and Bennett.
Almost as
and I'd buy 5 new defenders. Or how many do you need? Need 2 for each position. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. So
whatever happens, we're going to have
Toffolo, by the way, can't wait to see him in our school next season as well.
He'll come back, so that's a left back in it.
Capital Canaries, each of
go on, Capital.
Or basically, who are your player of the seasons? Who are you going to be voting for?
Good question.
Do you get a vote? Player of the season?
A fan would vote, can't they? Fans vote for it.
Yeah, go on then.
Everyone votes. My player of the season will be Jacob Murphy.
Ooh, yes.
Because I think what
I suppose it'd be nice for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, what I like to do with player of the seasons is not just go for the obvious one necessarily. Because I mean, what is the obvious one? Johnny Howson, I suppose. I don't know. I think he is the obvious one, but I also think you've got to think about who they are, where they've come from, and you think that boy will be one of the proudest moments of his career so far to lift the Barry Butler Memorial Trophy.
And how much will it help him in terms of his confidence? And there's 3 players that are up for it. It'll be either Howson, Jerome or Jacob Murphy.
I agree with that.
I agree with Rob. I would love Jacob Murphy to get it, but in fairness to Cameron Jerome, I think he probably deserves it.
Yeah. Jerome's been brilliant, but I don't think everyone would mind
Howson,
Jacob getting it. The other players would think it's great, and just for one of your own to get that trophy.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with. I would have probably said Howson, but I think that argument has won me over. Finally, the last question comes in from John Killett. He says, "Do you seriously believe any proven manager will want to come to Norwich under a director of football?"
Well, yeah, of course. Everyone. I mean, Nigel Pearson's reportedly applied. Alan Pardew's reportedly applied.
Oh, by the way, Nigel Pearson.
But he's a big name manager and he wants the job reportedly. So I think that's been a bit negative. I think people do. I think Norwich is seen as a good job. And I think the sporting director will pick the man they want anyway. So
amazing place to live, a decent but. What are you laughing for? No, seriously, what are you laughing for?
No,
he agrees with you. Don't get Jackie.
Well, I'm a Yarmouth boy, so...
Yeah,
exactly.
Norwich is like
there you
20
go,
miles away. Yeah. Yarmouth's as good to live in.
Yarmouth's beautiful. So you were having a cup of tea down the sea?
I was there. I was doing an interview at the Hippodrome.
Oh, I love the Hippodrome.
Yeah, I was doing a boxing interview and I had a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich.
The casino's good in Yarmouth. I'll give them that.
I've done some gigs there with Grant Holt, Chris.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, you weren't there, though, were you?
I wasn't there.
No. Could have got you a ticket as well.
Damn.
Oh, well.
Finally, last question. Not too short. This one's about from Jack Skevington. Thoughts on David Fox?
Legend.
Love him.
No, he's not. He's
Where is he at now? What is he doing?
He's at Plymouth, I think.
That ball.
He's a great bloke.
That through ball. That's all I'm going to say.
Simeon Jackson.
Yeah, get him on the Hall
That
of Fame.
was epic.
What are they getting at there then?
What thoughts on David Fox? Don't know. Just him as a
Maybe he just likes David Fox.
Is he a nice person?
Lovely bloke.
Yeah,
we had him at Shrewsbury for a commentary with us, and he was great.
Isn't he a good golfer as well?
I think so. Yeah,
they're all good golfers. Tim Close is good at golf. Look at how good he is on the pitch.
Snapchat.
Too much time on the hands. Finally, let's get on to the next match. A couple of weeks away, Aston Villa away. Half price tickets, all of that good stuff.
God's sake.
If we win, are we proper contenders for the playoffs?
No, this is actually this is interesting though. This is interesting because Villa have hit a nice bit of form.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big game. It is going to be a big game, and it's actually probably the easiest game out of the upcoming 3 or 4.
Yeah.
If you look at it, Huddersfield, Leeds. Who else have we got in there as well? Forgive me.
I think Fulham. Maybe.
Brighton at home.
Not sure.
Okay. Well, exactly. So therefore, we've got to go to Aston Villa with no fear. I'm going to go against what I said after the match on Saturday, Jack. I do think that we should instill some youth players in there because I think that the players on Saturday looked very tired. All of them did. They've just given absolutely everything. They look heavy on their feet now, and I think we do need to start to mix it up.
Yeah. I think if we win, we are back in it. Definitely, but I just can't.
Do you think we'll have a late surge? A lot of teams have a late surge, don't you think?
We've always got a sting in the tail, Norwich, and especially this team at the minute. And I just think away from home we struggle, and I think we'll probably lose one of those 2 games. But we're only talking about the Villa game. I think we might get a draw there. Put it that way.
Okay, I suppose
I'll take that now. I'd take a draw.
Yeah, I probably would actually.
100%.
I suppose this has just come into my head. If we do go on a late surge, maybe win a few of the bigger games, does that almost paper over the cracks a little bit?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think
Scars already there.
I can see what you're saying, but I think this club needs an overhaul. That's what the club are doing. Applaud them for that. They just need. It doesn't matter what they're called. You can call them head banana tester. The bottom line is get the right people. That's what's important. It doesn't matter what they're called. Just get the right people.
I tell you what, we need new ball boys as well for next season.
God, you hate the. To be
They're
fair,
so
they
slow.
Youth team boys, aren't
They're
were
so
poor.
slow. Seriously, I'm being
This is the
serious.
stuff I used to rant about
The last,
about 5 years
the
ago.
last
I was
3
like,
or 4 seasons, the ball boys have been horrendous. Sort it out. No,
So you're having a go at the poor old underage ball boys?
Yeah, 100%.
And having a loving on Russ Martin?
Have you ever been a ball boy for Norwich?
I haven't,
No, but if I was,
he's
I'd be the
venting
best.
now.
I'd be the best ball
Do it
boy
now.
ever.
Get you down
Probably
there.
could.
He's venting because he didn't get that privilege. I love you, ball boys. Anyway, massive thank you for listening on iTunes. If you haven't already, subscribe on
Cheers,
iTunes.
guys.
You get it in your little podcast app. Have you
And the
subscribed?
scrimmage, don't forget to subscribe to that
Yeah,
as well. Good kind of,
Collaboration.
correct.
If you want to listen to the old boys as well, they are actually quite good, aren't
Who's
they?
you talking about? Cheeky.
And you've come in and covered poor Wes Moolahan.
Go on, let's
Oh,
get
sorry.
Wes Moolahan in. Go on, hold up Wes Moolahan.
Yeah, I'll hold
There
that
you
Wes Moolahan.
There's a little
For
plug.
the finish.
Massive thanks for watching. Hit subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes. Rob, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
cheers,
it.
Rob.
I'll do it again if you want me back. I enjoyed it.
Any more plugs?
I think you made
Yeah, scrimmage on Thursday night. We've got a very special guest. It'll be fun.
When are
a
we
special
coming
guest
on
on Thursday
scrimmage?
and Friday.
Are we the
Or
special
just-
guest?
Friday? What's Friday?
I thought you said there was a video.
Oh yeah, the video is going to be of the scrimmage. You see, so
I'm excited.
yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And
Comment below with guesses on who it is.
that's a good shout.
Ex-player? Or is that too much for you?
No comment.
No comment. Can't do that. But he's never been on before.
Ooh.
See,
Cool.
I like
you've
this.
got
Anyway,
a comment.
like this.
So the more comments we get, nothing. But the more comments we get, the better.
Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye bye.
Once upon a time, a fairy tale.